we're gonna go to the next segment, ladies and gentlemen. And the next segment is not only Raymond Price, but also the General Isaac Buchanan. You understand? Or the whole of them a Portland a cheer for because him a cheer for them and I work for them, don't it? That. So big up Isaac and big up the people from Raymond Price constituency. I will have to say that you guys are very, very lucky to have such an astute and intelligent member of parliament to advocate for you for the next 5 to 10 to 15 or maybe 20 years of a successful you know government run from the PMP. I think you have to put certain things and put them into words and existence. Because we're not talking about 1, 2, or 3 term. I don't want to see the JLP back in a power ever again after this Laws and Security election. And some more the PMP come in and do the right thing for the people. You understand? More Marky G do the right thing for the people. Seeing so he can leave a legacy to either match or surpass his father, because his father did great work for the people of Jamaica that they're still benefiting from. And to Mark Golden credit, he is also maintaining that legacy. So we want him to add to the legacy now by winning the next general election and putting the right people in place, right? So we can move forward in this world and create and play our part in the welfare of the whole human race. What want to say about that, people? What want to say about that? Hey, y'all, please remember to hit the like button. I know y'all come in sometimes and y'all forget, but the main thing, man, y'all gotta hit the like button, man, and share the live stream. Come on now. Stop playing. Support. The like button is free, heard? Sefu Francis and Shayrak Promotion. Big up on yourself and big up everybody else. Let's get it.
But isn't that the purpose of the media, to fact check his presentation?
And I don't want to appear disrespectful to the media, but they had timelines. Probably that was why he spoke so long. Because
but then people would have argued then the media has lost that kind of oomph to hold particular politicians to account.
Well, and if that is the case, we have podcasts like yours.
Oh,
and
yeah.
We have podcasts like Context Matters.
Oh, good night, Mr. Buchanan.
And I'm not a podcast, but we have platforms like Bolo VNR and Bolo VNR 2.0 and Bolo VNR Clips. You understand? I gotta throw myself in there too now. Yes, Lord. Wait a minute, what happened? Oh.
We're not hearing it because your mic is muted.
Good night, Mr. Price. Good night, Mr. Stevens.
Mr. Buchanan.
How are you doing, everybody? Good night.
What you thought of the Prime Minister's budget presentation today?
Which part? The boring part in the first part? The history lesson?
No.
That is funny, honey. That is funny.
Night.
What you thought of the Prime Minister's budget presentation today?
Which part? The boring part in the first part? The history lesson? Or the fake goodies? Which one?
You call it boring part, the history lesson, or the fake goodies?
Yeah.
So
you have to cut the media some slack. 5 hours was a very long time to pontificate and to dance around the fact that you wasted 9 years.
Yeah.
That's the reality.
No, you see, Raymond Price is the technical steward, articulate, goes into the intricacies, the finer details of things that are happening with the government and the plans that they have. And Isaac Buchanan is a Jamaican brother where they say, yo, him a street smart, him book smart, and him not so smart, but him have him head on him body enough to say, brother, all the man was doing is asking you guys for another chance because he mash up the country in the last 9 years. That Aldiana we had it. Pick up yourself. No, that is exactly what the man do a while ago. No? Because that is exactly, he was pontificating, beating around the bush, right? That they failed us in the last 9 years. And he made an attempt to blame the entire history of the PMP as to why he in 2025, from 2016, almost 10 years in government, he was trying to argue that the reasons why we have a pothole crisis is because the right policies were not in place. Do you know how much that angered me to hear this man say that? When we know that the man actually took away the road maintenance fund. Him and with the brother name Manayard, him and Manayard removed the road maintenance fund and put it in the consolidated fund, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And in that consolidated fund, you see the road they start getting worse and worse and worse. But then now, the next gentleman that called me earlier, right? Doc will call me earlier. The man say he spent 70% paying off the debt and 30% doing everything else to fund the country. And that is the reason why the roads them not right. That is the reason why the hospital not right. In an effort to still blame the PMP. This man is unconscionable. This man is a narcissist. Unbelievable, man. Let's continue. Let's continue.
You waste 9 years.
And it's you waste 9 years. That's what it boils down to. One of the most significant things. I know that Mr. Price is a little bit more technical and mathematical, and then put him and Damon in a room. They get to laugh at persons trying to do the math. But remember, we have a population that wants to. But remember, Damon in a room. They get to laugh at persons trying to do the math. But remember, we have a population that wants to understand where the benefit lies for them. So we have thousands of unattached youth in Portland Eastern right now, dying to wake up tomorrow to go to Prospect to find out where them $20,000 is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask Christ, the MP better have the money to give them.
Oh!
Yep.
That's the starting point.
Yeah, man.
And all of the young people in East Central.
Yes,
Yep.
the Prime
Yep.
Minister promised them $20,000.
$20,000 a one.
20 to 50,000.
Huh?
Yeah.
20 to 50,000.
All right, so they must, at a minimum, they must get them $20,000.
Yep.
And they must lie and they deceive because he promised. He named a class of persons who had a right to that money and went as far as saying he's going to make some of the MPs, some of them can barely count. Some of them have beat their woman with chair. Anyway, that's none of my business still. And them are going to distribute money. So go out, seek that $20,000, unhinged, unattached youth of Jamaica, because the Prime Minister promised you that.
As a matter of fact, they could even bypass going to Grange Lane and go straight to OPM. Go to the source.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying that they must come to Jamaica House for it?
Well, the youth of East Central St. Catherine know that them can't trust the capper that them have as a member of parliament.
Oh, so it's best them try to go to the
Because
senior.
that capper, and I'm going to send you the video so you can show it on your program. In 2020, that capper sat down in a room and opened some documents which he said were the blueprints for a community resource center. And that he had the blueprints, he had the approvals, he had the funds, and the community resource center was going to be built. And we're still looking for it. We can't find it. So East Central St. Catherine Youth,
He needs some milk.
over there.
But didn't you
I still going to tell East Central Youth, go.
No, the money, the $20,000. All the $20,000 go now. Because ISAT know him talk about, you know. But then for add insult to injury. All the building go, where Raymond Price talk about. Hey, them something wrong here, man. Jamaica, how we allow these people to do this to us. I want to talk to my Jamaican people. Them. Oh no, we have to do better, you know? We have to do better. We have to do better. I believe two things. One brother called me yesterday and I have to block him, you know, but we still have to give credit where credit is due. Because when I try to explain to him, so I agree with him on some level. And the level where I agree with him on is that the Jamaican people need to hold the government more accountable. And I also believe that there needs to be a system of accountability, much like the Integrity Commission. Now, you see when the Auditor General reports are not sent to her in time, you see when money cannot be accounted for, they don't have the receipts, people forgot jail, and people forget charged, and they need to lose their job, and them whole career after that, them cannot enter into anything like that ever again when it comes to money. You understand what I'm saying? You have to make the punishment so bad. Get creative for the punishment so bad that they understand how important it is for them to tell us what them do with the money. There needs to be policies put in place to encourage 100% accountability when it comes to with tax dollars. Where you use the money for. We don't want to hear that, receipts got wet. No. We don't want to hear that. You have one thing named lamination. Hello? You have a thing named what? Lamination. Not because the paper, these receipts are in paper form. Doesn't mean they cannot be maintained and preserved. Yes? They need to lock up in a one fault, like say a money, because it's literally money. Until, and then, you see, if they do their job on time, it wouldn't be that complicated, you know. Every year, you're supposed to show the Auditor General where the money go. So do it on time. And for every month that it's not done, you're to be charged. And you get a grace period. See, you see, if you cannot find the money or the receipts for the money, you forgot prison. Yes, you should go to where? Prison. Automatic prison if you can't find the money. You see, when we do that, all these little people have dipped them on in the cookie jar and in the candy jar. I bet say it stop. I bet say it tone down. And why do I say this? Look at, oh my God, I always forget that country, no man. It's not Norway. Them have a strict corruption framework where them lock up people. It will come back to me. But that country is a proven evidence as to why we the people, Singapore, thank you so much. Thank you. Me say the smallest car them drive on the road have the biggest sound system. Them have a small person syndrome, and they just want to be heard and seen. Mighty God. Anyway, so we need a system like that. We need a system like that where a man knows say, Bridging, you're going to get locked up. Your family are going to get locked up. This is treason and it's the highest crime. Right? This is the highest crime you can commit against the people of Jamaica. Let's continue.
So East Central St. Catherine youth don't trust the capper that them have over there.
But
I still going to tell East Central youth, go for your $20,000 and don't make the promises must be kept. Promises must be kept. But I'm only raising that because even the thing about if you buy yourself, you get 9 million. When you team up, you lose 1 million. Three lose 4 million.
4 million.
That is that type of moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 4.
Continue.
I'm bad at math, you know. I'm just an attorney. Oh, shout out to Justice Sykes, the Chief Justice, to always protecting the Constitution, respecting the Constitution, the custos morum of the Constitution and the rights, so that the serial breachers that forms the government that try to gerrymander because Mr. Price is beating his opponent. Yes, and always causing them for box phone all time, man. You must stop it, Mr. Price. Um, so Justice Sykes has once again, by way of injunction, I know you might have discussed this earlier, but these things excite lawyers when brilliant minds come together and say the Constitution speaks, and the Chief Justice himself says, yes, what nonsense is going on out there? We must protect the Constitution, protect the rights, and observation and anything that is done in breach of the Constitution is void as if it never existed. And we will now investigate that.
Big up Sassy and big up ISAT. Come on, man. Talk to him.
So at a minimum, we expect the injunction to last for the life of Portmore as it is right now, and we look forward to see what happens where common sense and prevails, especially at one arm of government being the judiciary.
Gentlemen,
So I just want to say that.
There's another matter, by the way, thanks, ISAT, because one of the, you see, I know I'm an environmental scientist, and yes, I'm a nerd, but I'm no way, shape, or form a legal luminary. So I'm grateful for your presence, because the host, Mr. Stevens, had asked about it, and all I did was reread the headlines.
so you're saying that that injunction can serve until all elections?
No, the injunction is going to invite the people at the Attorney General's office under the guidance of the Attorney General, the most erudite Derek McCoy, who is likely to say, "Me did tell you, when they want to embarrass me one last time before them kick you out of government." And somebody's gonna be like, "Lalo, who time?" The guidance of the Attorney General, the
That is funny, honey.
Embarrassing. He needs some milk.
most erudite Derek McCoy, who is likely to say, "Me did tell you, when they want to embarrass me one last time before them kick you out of government." And somebody's gonna be like, "Lala who? Ala who? Ala who?" It'll be Philippine party. Yeah. And then all,
Out! Whoa, yo. We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help. Shift the parliament. Shift the election. Shift everything. Remove them out there. Take out the cockroach. Take out the thief. Take out the criminal them. Take out the thief them. Take out the murderer them. Take out the gang leader them. Out of parliament. Take them out from Portland. Take them out. I hear Portland. Me I go to Portland. Why me I travel to Portland? Take out somebody, man or woman.
it'll be Philippine party. Yeah. And then all the non-lawyers who probably have law degree and sits on the constitutional chair go have a SAT where that is concerned. Not ISAT, go have a SAT, because it just really is nonsensical. And we saw what you did there. You try a thing, you have to try a thing, because you're not going to win.
So you already see what the verdict will look like, or you're preempting what a verdict under a Justice Sykes would look like, knowing you have sat in many court cases with him. You know that he's a creature of the Constitution.
Yes, our Chief Justice is going to give them an opportunity to ventilate. Then he's going to write a proper judgment. In any event, such a judgment is like a relay. He's going to go and hand the baton in any event. Because them like to waste government money, and them go.
And then they probably go to the Court of Appeal, and then.
All right, and then after that, where?
Again.
England, Marky G, gas up the plane for me. I'm sending me up there. Me always like go to England. I just be like go. But the point is, I just want the people to appreciate that the level of litigation, the life of such a litigation would mean that injunction would have to remain in place to preserve the status quo right all the way to the Privy Council.
My God.
And so Mr. Price can rest assured that those 1,573 votes that he was going to beat the dread with is in the bag.
Well, I was resting well, As we will say in Manchester, irregardless.
Yeah.
Yo, so even though the JLP was gerrymandering with the Portmore Parish Bill, look at God. Look at God, ladies and gentlemen. And to add insult to injury, Mr. Mr. Raymond Price said, irregardless. I absolutely love it. Irregardless, they were going to lose. Irregardless, they were going to. This is how confident the PMP is. Mighty God. People, remember, I said 10 days to go, for you to be qualified or eligible to vote. So, do the do and do the right thing. Yes? 10 days to go, ladies and gentlemen. The deadline is 10 days from today. Today is the 21st. And it's the 31st is the deadline. All right? Do the right thing. Let's continue.
But I'm saying it look nice when the votes them enough.
Right.
It sends a message. It sends a message that the next time around, he'll be challenged and run off asunder.
There is by the way, there is another point I want to touch on.
Yeah, get at it, Raymond, because you know
education. When Mark Rowling spoke and he presented on the teacher retention strategy, I saw where the Prime Minister attempted to counteract that, and I wonder how many Jamaican parents heard him and how many Jamaican parents are comfortable with this proposal.
Listen to this. This was a very, very good point by Raymond. Listen to this. All of the parents them out there, please pay attention. I want your participation in the chat and let me know what you honestly think about the question that Raymond Price is raising here, guys. Listen to this.
And how many Jamaican parents are comfortable with this proposal? Human-like AI bots as tutors and mentors at the primary school level. The Jamaica AI application. In the first 5 years of a child's life, that's when the brain has its highest absorptive capacity.
Yes.
That's when children learn not by what they are told only, but what they see others do. We are social animals. We socialize. They learn by seeing when they push a child that the adult in the room says, do not push that child. When you replace human mentorship, human tutorship with artificial intelligence tutors, how do you at the same time build morals, build humaneness, and improve social and motor skills?
You mean like signing the leadership conduct, the ethics?
Well,
you mean like having integrity, transparency, and accountability?
And
Let me just ask you, before you go there, just answer this. You can appreciate that thought would come if you had GTP prepare a 5-hour speech for you.
Well, there you go.
You could envision that AI would you just put in all of the stuff and say counteract Marky G and counteract JR real quick so we can look like we bright too. Because a lot of the things are nonsensical, and I want you to understand that a man that never pay him student loan is in no position to counteract the wonderful stuff that Marky G would have done.
And I agree with that.
He needs some milk.
I want to place this particular point under the microscope, because if you are certain about building a smarter society, a more innovative society, a more productive society, then placing children in front of an app that says, tell me a joke about science. Why did the scientists carry a ladder into the laboratory? Answer: to get a higher understanding of science. Instead of having a human tutor explain to that child that you need to plant more trees so that trees capture carbon dioxide and release oxygen, and the oxygen has a function, and the oxygen is cooler than the carbon dioxide, so the oxygen and the water vapor counteracts the heat emissions from cars and from industrial vehicles and from factories.
But remember, this government has never really been one that fosters and promote education.
And more than the education, and I don't want us to lose the importance of it. More than the education is the finer sense of being a part of a society. A robot cannot teach that. If we want to move away from mindless criminality and from the description of the kinds of people that ISAT has just covered, then the solution can't be less human mentors, less churches, less pastors, less Sunday school or less Sabbath school or less primary schools. The solution has to be more of all of the above. Personally, I think the greatest threat in the presentation made today in the so-called prospectus is almost a sense of, so the teacher them want to leave, go on, we're going to replace them with AI. I'm not so sure that Jamaicans are comfortable with that concept.
But I think that you're giving the Prime Minister way too much credit. Because I actually heard if we're going to give away $20,000 to $50,000, we clearly not going to plan to pay the teachers. So if them go on and we can just put in a program from all of the tablets that ISAT is handing out in Portland and his counterparts, then we don't have to pay teachers. Because if we educate the population, there's no way that we can ever regain power after we lose it to Marky G. So that is a captain that is trying to ensure that the Titanic sink. And I just think you're giving him too much credit. There has to be discomfort because what is attached also to this thing about AI is not giving vehicle concessions to the teachers to have them stay here.
That's the point I'm making.
Not increasing the salaries, not providing the NHT benefit where houses can be built on land that is given to a certain class of people for free.
But by the way,
they already want to take up all of the land in a Bernard Lodge. Anyway.
But listen me. Big up the government. Respect. But you see me? The truth is just the truth. I have to respect it. Our country now run right. Our country now run right. All who believe me, Bossa Blanc say blow! It's nothing. It's not mace nor profit.
Wow. Wow. So much value from this dialogue. It's ridiculous. I want the Jamaican mothers and the Jamaican fathers, the parents out there, to seriously, and the caretakers, people that adopt children, you know, not legally, but you know what I mean, them take care of kids. I want you guys to really think about that in a place. The point that I want to hammer home is that we are living in a space and time where technology is an integral part of our society. The human interaction is lessening more and more each day. A lot of people cannot even socialize. They're on social media, but they are social misfits. You understand what I'm saying? They are social misfits. Literally, they do not know. They don't know how to socialize with each other, how to have a conversation without arguing. Right? So when you're going to implement AI, Jennifer Foster, big up. When you're going to implement AI, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think is going to happen to the children at such a young age? Alright? You'll be growing up little monsters. You'll be growing up little monsters. Alright? Listen, the formula for teaching, they have a saying, you know. If it is not broke, you don't fix it. Should there be some type of interaction with AI? I believe so, but monitored. It needs to be monitored. There needs to always be human beings present in the teaching realm. That is my opinion. But to have just AI dealing with the kids? Oh, no, Lucy. Not my child. Listen, I tell people already, you know. Me, I think my mindset has been beyond my current years all of my life. I have always maintained that I want to be so wealthy to the point where I am homeschooling my children and I don't have to think about leaving my kids in the arms of the school system. I have always maintained that because the possibilities are endless. Now, what does that mean for you? I don't know for anybody else how they think, but I'm telling you how I think, right? And thought the truth said, I had this conversation today with my 9-year-old 2 hours ago. Wow. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Wonderful. Great to hear that. Great to hear that. It's a serious conversation, right? Let's continue.
As he mentioned that,
drink water and mind
he
your
gave a
business.
suggestion that doctors and nurses can get their NHD benefits and build it on hospital lands. So should police officers get their NHD benefit and build them house at back of the police station?
Lord of mercy, boy. Where Raymond just said a while ago. Me never catch this apart, yeah. Me backside. No, sir. Let me hear that again. Raymond. Raymond just dropped a bombshell a while ago. No, sir.
Bernard Lodge. Anyway.
As he mentioned that,
drink water and mind
he
your
gave a
business.
suggestion that doctors and nurses can get their NHD benefits and build it on hospital lands. So should police officers get their NHD benefit and build them house at back of the police station?
But of course, then they can work 24 hours.
Should the teacher get their NHD benefit
I mean,
and build their
school.
house on Emmett Park at St. George's College?
I was going to say that definitely build it in the Georges.
No.
No.
Can you imagine? You have to build you something past Spanish Town. No. I'm building.
Somebody just sent me a text and said, and should the garbage collectors take their NHD
Not
road and build it at Rivertown?
Oh no. Oh no.
Ball out! Whoa! We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help.
No, Andrew.
But listen me. Big up the government.
Andrew, you go wrong.
Respect. But you see me? The truth is just the truth.
It's just
I
the
have to
truth.
respect it.
That is it.
Our country now run right.
Nah, run right, nothing.
Our country now run right.
Run right.
All who believe me, Bossa Blanc say blow.
Hello. It's
Nothing. It's not nice nor puffy.
Hey, me say first time me hear nothing on Freedom Street at the intro say that. And me say, hold on there. How comes I missed this? But I know how I missed it because I never watched it. I wasn't even watching it the night when it was going on. I was in my own world. Sassy 81, how you doing, love? Mighty God. So no, seriously, we have to take bad things back to people. Can you imagine the rubbish man them? Can you imagine the rubbish man them? Oh my God, the rubbish man them have been house now, rubbish sheep. So when they come back with the truck and the rubbish sheep, they just go straight in and hey, yeah. No, this out.
No.
Oh my God! No, we can't, brother. Oh my God! People, this is one more reason for vote for that HOLNESS. They don't have no ideas. Oh my God. What a ridiculous piece of suggestion. No, seriously. What a talk to. What a talk to. Yo, we can't take this now, sir. We'll play that back again. No, Raymond, enough to do it.
The ability to Georges.
No.
No.
Can you imagine? You have to build you something past Spanish Town. No. I'm building.
Somebody just sent me a text and said, and should the garbage collectors take their NHP load and bill it at Riverton? In education parlance, you have the phrase that says grow where you're planted, and Holness wants you to live where you're employed.
But listen, you know,
you realize when I argue that this man is a weak jellyback, people can see the entire Caribbean leaders, the heads of government for Caribbean, for CARICOM countries, have been making their positions known about the Cuban medical doctor situation. Have you realized how silent and deliberate the Prime Minister made mention of nothing about this?
Yo, listen, man. Listen. Oh, my God. Hey, y'all, please remember to hit the like button. I know
Lost some
y'all
more,
sometimes, and y'all forget, but
Yo,
the
we
main
couldn't stop
thing,
laugh.
man, y'all gotta hit the like button, man, and share the live stream.
Yo,
Come
this is
on now.
crazy, bro.
Stop playing. Support. The like button is free, heard?
Yo. Come on, man.